Hello, Panthers. Welcome back to part 2 of reading the Cyclops in ninth grade English. My name is Miss Johnson, and I'm here to walk you through the second part. We're going to begin on page 99 of your close reader, and we're going to start with line 32. We're picking up in the story. Odysseus has now sailed to the island, and he is venturing to go see who lives on this land. A prodigious man slept in this cave alone, and took his flocks to graze afield, remote from all companions, knowing none but savage ways, a brute so huge he seemed no man at all those who eat good wheaten bread, but he seemed rather a shaggy mountain reared in solitude. We beached there, and I told the crew to stand by and keep watch over the ship. As for myself, I took my 12 best fighters and went ahead. I had a goatskin full of that sweet liquor that Euanthes' son Marin had given me. He kept Apollo's holy grove in Ismarus for kindness we showed him there, and showed his wife and child. He gave me 7 shining gold talons, perfectly formed, a gold-silver wine bowl, and then this liquor, 12 two-handled jars of brandy, pure and fiery. Not a slave in Marin's household knew this drink. Only he, his wife, and the storeroom mistress knew, and they would put 1 cupful ruby-colored, honey-smooth, in 20 more of water. But still the sweet scent hovered like a fume over the wine bowl. No man turned away when cups of this came around. So let's talk about this section right here. So we're seeing and we're noticing a couple more things that we want to take notes about. So first off, we have the vocabulary word of a prodigious man. Prodigious means to be large in stature, really strong muscularly. So Odysseus is starting to notify that all of the cave itself and all of the things on the island look very, very large. So he's not sure what he's about to encounter. Now, next up, we see that he stopped on the island. He told most of his crew from his ship to stand by, and he and his 12 best fighters went ahead to start exploring the cave to see where the Cyclops lived. He took the 12 best fighters and one other very important detail with him. He brought a goatskin of wine. Now, what I really want you to pay attention to as we read this is there's a couple of things here. The first is this whole section that we see right here is really just a side note. It's Odysseus going off on a tangent, talking to the king as he's sitting at the dinner table, and we really, really don't care about much of this other than we get a very important detail. This wine that Odysseus has brought with him is very, very potent. Usually, when he was serving this at his table, he would dilute 1 cup of this wine in 20 more of water, which was typical in Greek custom. But what it's telling us is that even when this wine was watered down, it was still a really, really strong smelling, potent concoction. So this stuff is pretty strong. So Odysseus has this goatskin of wine, this bag of wine, and 12 of his best fighters as he starts to walk towards the large yawning cave. A wineskin full I brought along, and victuals in a bag, for in my bones I knew some towering brute would be upon us soon, all outward power, a wild man, ignorant in civility. Again, we're seeing Odysseus refer to the Cyclops, both in past and present tense, as someone who is less stature than him, somebody who's not quite of the same class in life. He considers him a lower class person. We climbed then briskly to the cave, but Cyclops had gone afield to pasture his fat sheep, so we looked around at everything inside. A drying rack that's stacked with cheeses and pens, crowded with lambs and kids, each in his class, firstlings apart from middlings, and the dewdrops or newborn lambkins penned apart from both, and vessels full of whey were brimming there, bowls of earthenware, and pails for milking. My men came round, pressing me, pleading, why not take these cheeses and get them stowed? Come back, throw them open and all the pens, and make a run for it. We'll drive the kids and the lambs aboard. We'll say, put out again to salt water. Ah, how sound that was, yet I refused. Okay, so they walk into the cave and they start to notice all sorts of things around them. The Cyclops raises sheep and goats. And so with the sheep and goats, he also has a lot of cheese. So there's a lot of cheese with the drying in stores of stacks, and he has separated out all of his lambs by age. So they're each in their own little separate pens inside the cave, and there's a bunch of them. So the one thing that the Odysseus's men say is the men want to run away and steal everything. They want to just hijack, steal them, kind of like they did to the Siciones in the first adventure that they encountered. But Odysseus makes both a leadership move and a character move. He refuses, and he says, no, we need to wait and stay. We need to both wait for our host and honor the custom of Xenia. He's also letting his curiosity get the best of him. He's saying no, he wants to wait and see who actually lives in this cave before they do anything else. And he's also trying to show to us that he's learned his lesson. He doesn't want to just run away and steal these cheeses and these lambs again, because look what happened to him on the first stop that they had made on their journey home. So we can see this as both a good thing and a bad thing for the character of Odysseus. We can see it as a good leadership quality that he's trying to tell his men, no, don't steal. We're going to try to stay on the straight and narrow. And we can also see it as a character flaw in that his curiosity is getting the best of him once again. That's all for part 2, and you can pick up on part 3 with the next video.